So you're doing really good, eating healthy all week, and then suddenly, wow, out of nowhere, this food craving hits you like a truck and you just go for it. And then you're off track the rest of the day. If you've fallen victim to food cravings throwing you off track, then listen up. And folks, welcome to week 4 of Shape Up for Summer Accountability Program. This week we're going over the challenges that come up when you're focused on your program and you're focused on healthy habits. We have to talk about stuff that happens in real life, and today's topic is food cravings. It's inevitable that as we're trying to change our healthy food eating habits, some of our old tendencies come back to haunt us. And I'll tell you, this is one of the biggest challenges that I hear from clients is how to deal with food cravings. I definitely have some tips on this, and I've got one major tip that you don't want to miss at the end that I think is the one that rules them all. If you like Lord of the Rings, guys, that's my Lord of the Rings reference for you. So first of all, it's totally natural to have food cravings. I mean, it's a biological response. There's particular combinations like salt, sugar, and fat together that make our brain go into overdrive, and we really get a huge reward response from those. And it's hard if you've had a lifetime of exposure to these foods, it's hard to not be triggered by them when you're around them or when you see them. Sadly though, it never seems to be the carrot sticks that make our mouths water. And after really a lifetime of eating these foods, it can take a long time for their curb appeal to disappear. But there are strategies that you can use to fight food cravings. So let's start with number 1. Did you know that if you don't sleep well for even one night, that the next day it increases the hormone that makes you hungry? It's like a little gremlin called ghrelin. So it's this particular hormone that makes you hungry, especially if you don't sleep well. So that can impact your ability to resist tempting foods. It can make you crave calories. So pay attention next time you toss and turn all night and can't sleep. See if the munchies come along the next day, and then try to come up with a strategy to prioritize your sleep. I actually have some episodes on this a little while back if you want to look at them. Secondly, I want to really enforce the importance of establishing a really solid, predictable eating schedule. The longer you go in between meals, the more you're really stressing your body's ability to be able to regulate its blood sugar. And everybody has different capacities for this. Sometimes people start to get hangry even if they go 30 minutes past what their normal capacity is in between meals. Some people are more sensitive than others, and just a small delay can get them to the hangry stage where they really lose all their willpower. And it can be really difficult to resist convenient foods. The mere presence of hunger is enough to dissolve willpower and motivation for you to make that healthy choice ready. Unfortunately, you're gonna go for the quick and easy, and if it's in the cupboard, you're gonna go for it. You're gonna eat it. So one way to prevent this is to look at your day, and if you feel like you're at risk for a really long space in between eating windows, then prepare a healthy snack and keep it on you just in case. And another reason why we crave junky temptation foods is because we want a little boost. Because of the combinations of salt, sugar, and fat, it can increase our feel-good hormones in our brain. So dopamine, serotonin, and aside from illegal drugs, that is the quickest way to really boost up those hormones. But a healthy way to get this boost is with exercise. Even if you work out in the morning, the lift that you get in those hormones the rest of the day can help thwart having those cravings for those quick convenience foods. But my favorite tip of all time is to take the preventative approach. The simple fact is if you're not keeping these kinds of foods in the house, it's going to be very difficult for you to eat them when you're having a weak moment, which is going to happen. Actually, I was talking to a client today who's been really on track with his eating, and he struggles with sweet cravings from time to time. And him and his wife got home late from a gathering, and it was late at night, and he was really craving some junk food. But when he opened up the cupboards, all there was healthy foods and stuff that you have to sit cook in order to eat it. So he kind of had this idea and then was like, oh, that's right, I changed all my eating habits. I guess I can't binge out on potato chips because I don't have any. And another variation on that is to just have one single serving size available, right? Instead of having a full chocolate bar, maybe just getting a bite-size amount. Getting the bite size and just getting one of them for those kind of emergencies. And that way you're not continuing to eat beyond a single serving. Same thing with chips. You could get just the mini chip bag instead of the giant size bag. That way it's a happy medium. You're not completely depriving yourself and you're practicing moderation by having a little bit of something, you're not putting yourself in that danger zone of having to resist temptation of all these extra junk food calories that you're trying to change about your lifestyle. Because it's really a mistake to think that you can count on your willpower to be able to resist everything that's in the cupboard that you shouldn't be eating, because willpower is a finite resource. It runs out, and for most people it runs out by 1 p.m. Perhaps you have some other ways to deal. Perhaps you have some favorite ways to deal with food cravings. If you do, I'd love to hear a comment. If any of these ideas were helpful, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you're looking for tips on how to make healthy habits, healthy eating and exercise a permanent part of your lifestyle. Get off the train that throws you on and off track. No more cycling. So you may have noticed a theme today. I mentioned a few times the combinations of sugar, salt, and fat. And if you want to learn more about this and the impact it has on your brain and the number that it does on your hormones, then I'm going to list a couple of books for you to check out. I'll put these links to Amazon in the show notes so you can check them out. But the two books are called Sugar, Salt, and Fat and Super Size Me. Super Size Me is a fun one. It came out years ago, and you can actually check that one out as the documentary. I definitely recommend that. It really talks about how fast food diet that's typical in processed carbs and high in fat and salt, and how that really impacts the body's physiology and the brain and why it leads to overweight. So definitely check out those two books. I'll do more book recommendations as we go along, but those will really help you understand brain chemistry and the impact on physiology if you want to learn more about why processed food is so harmful. And if you've read those or if you've seen the documentary, let me know in the comment below. I also wanted to mention that I'm going to be putting a pause in the live stream. I'm not getting a ton of Q&A questions, so I'm going to be putting a pause on that through the rest of the program, and I might bring that back later. So if you do have questions, definitely drop them in the comments and I'll answer them in an upcoming video. But for now, I'm going to put a pause on doing the live streams. I'm just going to focus on getting you guys this really high quality information that's targeted towards what we're trying to achieve here in the accountability program, which is sustained habits for a lifetime. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.